This video will show you how to administer the NWEA Measures of Academic Progress Assessments. From your home screen, you'll want to open up your Google search engine. And if you don't already have the NWEA login information saved or the homepage saved, you can just type in NWEA login. From there, you'll get to a page that looks like this. If you click on logins once and then click on map growth, you'll get to a page that looks like this. I would highly recommend that you do try to log in before administering a test session. That will just ensure that you are able to log in successfully. Once you get to a screen that looks like this, I would highly suggest that you bookmark that page. So you'll notice that I have a green star in the corner. That just indicates that I already have this bookmarked. And using my email, which I have saved, I'm just going to continue. And then my password is saved. I would highly recommend that you do that and then log in. Once you get to the NWEA start page, I just want to point out that there are tons of resources that are available. So if you want to do some additional reading up on NWEA or map growth, there is a professional learning section. For the purposes of this video and administering a test session, you are going to go to map growth, click on the down arrow, and then find where it says manage test sessions. Once you click on that page, you'll get to a more plain looking screen, mostly white and blue. You might notice that your screen looks a little bit different than mine. That's because I have lots of options in this blue menu bar. Yours might not look the same, and that's okay. When you get to this spot, you're going to go over to the saved testing sessions and click show. From here, you can see all of the different testing sessions that have been created. You won't have created them, I have, so you'll want to delete the text that appears in that box and then hover over this funnel and click on all proctors. From there, you'll be able to see all of the test sessions and you will have your saved session ID shared with you ahead of time. For the purposes of this video, I do want to point out that you should make sure that you're in the correct term. And then you'll notice here that these buttons are grayed out, but once I select a test session by clicking on this radio button, these buttons are now available for me to click. And so I'm going to click Test Now. As soon as I get to this screen, the test session name and the password appears on my proctor screen. I'm going to want to write or share the test session name and the password with students so that they can enter that in on their devices. Their login screen should look something similar to this. So again, they'll type in their session name and the session password, and then they'll click on this blue go arrow. This just shows a previous set of photos that I took from a different testing session and training video. So the student typed in the session name and the session password and then clicked the go arrow. From here on the sign-in page, there was a drop-down menu and all of the students' names who are testing in your test session should appear in the drop-down menu. So for the purposes of this video, here's Xander Larson. He's the student who is logging in. He chose his name, and you'll notice that the name of the test appears grayed out. That's because it's already been assigned. If I click back to the Manage Test Session, these aren't going to match because the pictures weren't taken for this video. They were taken for a different one. But if they were the same, you'd notice that the test assignment here would match what shows here. Once students have chosen their name, and this is something that you are going to want to closely monitor, once they've chosen their name and the name of the test appears, they're going to then click on this blue arrow and then they get to information, is this correct? So again, have them double check first and last name, and then all of the other information should pre-populate. If it is correct, they're going to click yes. And then they'll get to a screen that looks like this. It says, please wait for the proctor to confirm your information. What you'll notice on your screen as the test proctor is that some of the numbers are going to be changing here in this gray bar. It'll let you know how many students are waiting to be confirmed. So the student screen will look like this, where the proctor screen will look like this. When you have students, and you'll notice that their status changes from a waiting student to be confirmed, and you can select them one at a time as they're able to log in, or you can just select all of them, and once they're all ready to be confirmed, you can click that, and then you can click this confirm button. The page does update every 60 seconds, but by clicking this refresh page button, you can get it to go a little quicker. So as you confirm the students, their screens are going to change, and it will note you are confirmed to start the test. They'll click this blue arrow. It'll tell them what test they're taking. It does give them some information the first time through, and I would recommend anytime you're giving the test that you do go through these with them. You'll notice for this particular test that there are some buttons that they can click to have it read to them. Those won't appear on all of the tests. And then if for some reason they're paused, maybe they need to go to the bathroom, maybe you decide to give your students a break, you can do that by selecting the student name, and then you can change it to pause. And because the student wasn't testing, I can't pause the test. But if they do, if the test is paused, then you'll have to click on their name. And so if they were paused, then you would need to click resume. Then their screen would change to continue your test, where they'd click the blue button again. Once all of the students have completed their test, you're going to want to end the test session, and you can do that by clicking this blue button up here. As mentioned in our training earlier, you can watch where the student's progress is during the testing session, and you can monitor the number question that they're on, and then it will also indicate over here on the far right if they're rapid guessing. If they do have a number of rapid guesses in a row, they will get that sloth screen that pops up, and then you'll have to go and enter this proctor pin in. Please do not share the proctor pin ahead of time. That could skew the data, and we want to make sure that we're getting the most accurate assessment data possible. So again, if you have students that get the sloth and they need to slow down, you can enter in your proctor pin. Again, once the test session is done, you're going to want to end the test session. If all of the students have completed the test and you're not going to be coming back to this test session, you can delete the session. The other thing that you can do is if you only have a few left, you can highlight this and change it, and maybe you decide that you want it to say make up kindergarten Riesland, and then you would be able to enter that test session name, and then you would save and exit. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to save and exit, and then I get back to this screen. And that should be everything that you encounter during a testing session. If something else happens, don't freak out. You can always call me, and there are other people within your building that can support you during a test session as well. Happy testing!